Well, I'm here in Charleston with the Runyons. You want to tell us your names and explain your business to us here a little bit?
My name is Steve Runyon.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And we're at Home Again Consignment here in Charleston. It's right on 18th Street, which is one of the kind of two main streets that run through town. And I have lived nearby for 10 years, and I've never been in here, and I was in for a treat. This place is just really cool, and I'll try to put lots of video on YouTube if you want to go online and watch the YouTube video. So tell us about your store. What types of things do you sell?
We sell basically furniture and home decor. Started out with a focus on good quality used furniture and home decor, and it's just kind of grown over the years to include new furniture, handcrafted furniture.
A lot of artist pieces. We have a lot of artist pieces. We like to support local artists because they have a hard time making their products known and displayed. So we've been really big on that since the beginning. And we also added vendor space. So there are specialty products there, like people that make macrame pieces that are really trendy right now, people that repurpose furniture. We have one person who has a live plants and pots, which is fairly new. So just a variety of things, but they are
just coming through here. It was way more than I would have imagined, the amount of stuff that you have in here. And if you're thinking used furniture and it's just kind of, stuff that you picked up on the side of the road somewhere, that's not this place at all. They have you showed me your workshop, and you've got a paint booth back there, and you're just upscaling a lot of these things. They probably look nicer than they did before you got to them, most of them. All kinds of neat furniture. You said you have some new furniture now?
We do have new furniture. When the pandemic hit, a lot of families were reluctant to go out, and they didn't bring furniture in as they normally would have, and we needed inventory. So we found a source of new, trendy furniture at a reasonable enough price that we could sell it in here, and it went over very well with our customer base.
So tell me, you also have the Picker's Paradise I saw over here, which is just kind of furniture in the raw, I guess you'd say, right? It's not ready, or
it's maybe ready. It's just not ready for the main floor.
Right.
Our best quality items are in our main showroom area and the warehouse, or Picker's Paradise. Still very functional, but not quite the same condition floor.
You also have U-Haul here. You have, which goes, you were saying goes great with furniture. So
it does.
Rent that. You have beautiful, all kinds of books and beautiful watercolors, watercolor postcards that are a local artist, right, that makes those. Honey, just all number of stuff here. We've been walking around for the last 20 minutes, and you've been showing me all this wonderful stuff, and we'll be sure to put the video overlay of all of that. Great. So let's talk about how you got into this. So how did you decide to open a consignment store like this?
That's probably a Julie story.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, Steve is actually a retired school administrator, school psychologist. He was a special ed director when I met him. I was involved in special education as well, and I had an autism program where I met Steve in Danville. And then my last position was at Eastern as the disability specialist there.
Okay.
So we have no background in business. When Steve and I decided to get married, he was still working in Danville, so he retired. Immediately after that, my daughter went away to college for the first time. It was a crazy time in our lives. And then Steve informed me that he really wanted to open a consignment shop. And I thought he was just, it's going to go away. It's just a phase he's going through. And he was persistent. We had discovered a place in Champaign that we really loved. Everything was so well displayed, and they did vignettes, and it was clean, and it didn't smell like old furniture. And we just fell in love with it. And that's what drove him, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Where did this idea of I want to open a consignment shop come from?
I think I've always liked flea markets, thrift shops, resale shops, and as Julie described, the place in Champaign, it was still in business now, but it just had a great way of displaying their furniture. And we traveled around for a month or so on the weekends, visiting other consignment shops, seeing things that we liked and didn't like, and finally came up with a model for this business, which we opened 10 years ago in January.
Initially, it was just a 6-month project. We set aside a certain amount of money in 6 months, and I said, at the end of 6 months, if it's not doing great, we are done. Because my parents had businesses when I was growing up, and I knew it wasn't just a matter of you sell things and you make money. There was a whole lot of other stuff that goes with that. And as I've said before, we had absolutely no business owning a business at that point with educational backgrounds, but we loved what we were doing. Then a series of events took place. So that was in January. In February, I was injured on my job at Eastern, and I wasn't able to work. I didn't have that income anymore, and I came here and kind of hung out. My daughter, who was away at college, started coming home on the weekends, and she would come in and redo everything we'd done. And we were like, "How did you know how to do that?" She'd never done it at home. But at that point in her life, she discovered her passion. She loves visual merchandising. So she changed her major to textiles, apparel, and merchandising, and then she got a minor in business administration and marketing, which is perfect for this place. And she loves it. If you ask her, this is her business because she breathes and loves it. But we always say God had this crazy plan. He knew what was going to happen and those strange events that were going to occur in our lives. And he let Steve know. And I fought with him for a long time, but he was right. We love this place. We look forward to coming here every day. Our worst day here is so much less stressful than education, and we still have an opportunity to be with people. Steve still has an opportunity to do a lot of administration. He was on the Chamber of Commerce board for a while, and then he was the president of the board. Then he decided he wanted to open a farmer's market across the street, and he gets these really crazy ideas. But
I like that.
He's an idea man, and then he has this team of people that help him make it happen. But he started 18th Street Farmers Market and has since passed that on to the Chamber.
The Chamber now has that.
Then we took over the
Block Party.
The Spring Block Party. Then we started the 18th Street Fall Festival, and we organized all those events for a long time up to the pandemic, up until COVID hit, and then we haven't been able to do those festivals recently, but plan to hope and plan.
May they make a swift return, right?
Yeah, we hope. We hope.
So he administrates, and I fix stuff and paint stuff, and my daughter runs the place.
Yeah, and tells us what to do.
And tells us what to do.
Nice.
It's wonderful.
I was back there. You have a really cool workshop back there full of all kinds of odds and ends and all kinds of paint. That's obviously you're doing a great job fixing things up and making them beautiful. And just a paint booth, nice paint booth back there. It was really neat. So you've been at it for 10 years. People can come here. They can find used furniture. They can find new furniture. They can find all kinds of neat things to make their home more inviting. I'm looking at sign every time I do these in a store like this. I'm like, I see things I want for my house.
We like that.
Yeah, I'm sure. But just a really neat place. You want to tell me? Well, you answered so many questions. I was going to ask you about your background before doing this, but you were both in education.
Right.
No business experience before this.
No, I was a school psychologist for about half of my 33 years in education, and then a special education administrator, and all of that 26 years in Indiana. And then I came to Illinois as a director of special education programs up in the Danville area. And I was in that area for 7 years before I retired. But no business background. Julie's background is interesting as well.
I've already explained it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been through it. But my parents did have businesses when I was growing up. So I knew enough about business to know that it was very serious.
Yeah.
There are taxes and things like that,
Yes.
that have to get taken care of. And
That first year when you get your tax bill, it's like, this is where all that tax return money came from, apparently.
And then we started hiring people and employee taxes and workman's comp and all of those kinds of things. You just learn a lot. But fortunately, we've had a lot of good people along the way that we've been able to use as resources. And that's one reason why we believe in networking so much. We've done a lot of events with other shops in Charleston. We support small business, and we make sure that we cooperate. We do a map of all the resale shops in Charleston and Mattoon. Mm-hmm. We've been doing that since pretty close to the beginning.
Exactly.
And anytime somebody's doing something in the community, we participate, and fundraisers, or we're doing the golden egg hunt that Mr. Halsey set up.
Exactly.
He's doing a good job. We're glad to hand that over to him and let him organize some stuff. But
one of the neat projects that we did a number of years ago was called For the Love of Chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of imagine there was a lot of chocolate involved. And at the time, Mattoon had a chocolate place, Bidwell's.
Oh, yeah, I remember Bidwell's.
And so we kind of worked with them and came up with 10 or 12 local businesses that wanted to participate. And each business had a different kind of individually wrapped chocolate. Uh-huh. So when a customer came into the store, they were given a piece of chocolate.
They had to buy the passport, and all those funds went to a charity.
Okay.
So, and we've done things like that a couple different times here over the years.
But our favorite was the chocolate one.
The chocolate one was, it was by far the favorite.
You need to resurrect the chocolate thing.
My
wife would be all about that.
I think so.
So, let me ask you, you have several employees. I've met some of them. How many employees do you guys have?
Right now, we're kind of, we're at 3 plus my daughter.
Okay.
Blayton's been our assistant manager for a while, and then we have a young Eastern student who unfortunately is graduating soon because she is amazing.
Yes, she is.
She comes and helps clean. She runs the front end for us. She's really sharp and bright and a good girl. And then we had a retired lady who just moved up here from Missouri who kept pestering us to work here because she had worked at a similar store in Wentzville, Missouri. And she has the second paint booth that we showed you. That's my old paint booth. And now she goes there and she paints furniture as well. So we're going to probably need another employee soon. So if you're in the market, we are hiring.
Personally, not my thing, but thanks for letting me know.
Keep your ears open.
I'll keep my ears open. Great. Awesome. Beauty of this, I can edit all my ums and ahs out of here.
Sure.
That's really nice.
I sound much smarter in the finished product than I do in person.
I hope we do too.
You do too. I always make it a point to make the guests look great.
trying to think if there's anything else
we didn't talk about. I have a couple questions I usually ask. So,
Okay.
are you doing anything with the internet? Anything online?
Facebook is probably the major thing that we utilize the internet for.
Okay.
We tried a website that was access was provided through the Chamber of Commerce a number of years ago, and it really wasn't designed to be maintained,
Right.
so it wasn't maintained. And we've really not ventured into that area. But Faith, our manager, she will post probably 2 or 3 times a day pictures of new items, specials that we're running for that day, or promotion of some kind. A lot of video where she'll walk through the shop, much like you did when you first got here today, and just kind of scan everything that's here. And we have quite a following. I don't know, it's over 10,000
Wow. That's great.
on our Facebook page. So
One example was today, Vicky, our other painter, she just finished polying a set of end tables. Faith posted them on Facebook. Immediately somebody saw them and came into the shop and bought them. And while she was here, she bought several other things. And that all happened within probably 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you use like Facebook Marketplace at all, or just posting pictures on Facebook?
Occasionally we do. It just depends.
Okay.
It's something that we don't want to overuse, you know.
Right.
Just, yeah.
I know. I did. They don't use. I don't think they do use stuff, but they have another home decor shop in Shelbyville a couple weeks ago.
We saw that video.
Yeah.
yes, it's
And,
very nice.
Yeah, and she is great. That's a cool little store too. But she sells a lot of stuff on Etsy, and I know a lot of people, do that sort of thing as well.
Etsy used to be very small business friendly, individual business friendly, but unfortunately they've changed all of their logarithms and everything, and there's so much stuff on there that the little people don't get seen.
Yeah,
everything
is pay for play is probably
right.
the way it is now.
Exactly.
And part of Facebook's that way.
Yeah,
because we will pay occasionally to boost a special post that we have, but that's not a major investment for us.
So if we wanted to start a store like this, I don't, but if we did want to start a store like this, what is the kind of overhead? What does that look like?
One of the reasons Steve was so crazy about consignment is because it didn't require that much overhead.
Okay.
We're selling things for people. They bring it in. We sell that, and then they receive a percentage of the sale price.
So you don't have to give them any cash up front.
No.
You don't give them anything until it sells.
Right. Now, we do buy stuff sometimes, especially if something needs to be repaired or it's not in the best shape. We don't accept those kinds of things on consignment,
Okay.
But we might buy them so that we can repurpose them or put them out in the warehouse.
Okay.
We've attended auctions to pick up, bits and pieces of
Estate
things.
sales.
Estate sales. So some of it we over the years have bought, but we found that we had to do that less and less as we built up our consignment.
Okay.
But the whole idea of the consignment shop is to minimize your overhead. So when we first started, we had a monthly rent and utility bills, and I was the only employee, so there was no payroll.
Right.
And it just grew from there.
Okay. Do you have any future plans for this? Question for your daughter?
Less of me and more of Faith.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve's ready to retire
Again.
He put in his 2-year notice 2 years ago, and
2-year notice. I've never heard
Right.
that, but that's great.
He plays pickleball and golf,
Okay.
and he wants to be able to do that more. I'm a little younger, 14 years younger than he is, and I'm not ready to retire. I love to be active, and I love to come in here and make things and fix things. So we're kind of trying to work that out a little bit. He'd love to travel and be away for 3 months at a time, and
Well, maybe not 3.
2.5.
Okay.
Can I guess which 2.5?
You don't need one guess.
Yeah, only one guess.
Yeah. So Faith is taking over. The other thing is that is really important in this business is staying with the trends.
Uh-huh.
There was a period of time when Joanna Gaines drove everything that was done in this area, and then they kind of went away a little bit, and now they're coming back.
Uh-huh.
But we have to really be careful not to just get stuck in, well, I like doing it this way, because things change. During COVID, we had to be very flexible. We were closed for a little bit, but then we were doing phone sales with a lot of posting on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Take PayPal over the phone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just paying attention to what's going on. And a lot of places that we've seen that have come and gone are places that they had their niche. That's what they liked. They stayed in their niche, and it just didn't have any interest anymore. So we try to stay new and fresh, add things, change things, mix it up, look at what people are interested in, and pay attention to the shopper, because we want to make this a place like where we'd like to go shop.
Let me close by asking one question, and we'll be done. If you could give one piece of advice to a new business owner in the area, what would it be?
From me, it would be to do your homework. The more you know about what you want to do, and have a plan that you can actually follow, I think you increase the likelihood of success. And we've pretty much stayed with that original plan, and I think that has given us 10 years so far.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And to go along with that, the networking part of it, we said from the very beginning that we were not going to be competitive.
Uh-huh.
We are cooperative.
Uh-huh.
When we opened, there was a resale shop down the road that had been here for 20 some years.
Uh-huh.
And before we came, we sent her a note and let her know that we were going to be coming down here, that we weren't out to get her. And we had a great relationship with her.
Uh-huh.
She would send people here, we'd send people there. So that spirit of cooperation and not competition is really important. And that way you can work together and fill holes that the other places aren't able to fill. And you've got resources if you need something. And if you can't figure out how to do it, then there are other people along the way that you have good relationships with, and you can help one another. And unfortunately, in the days of big box stores and fewer and fewer small businesses, we've got to stick together. We've got to be a team instead of trying to make it on our own and outdo the other guy.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with the interview for me. Yeah, let's try that again. Thank you so much. Stop. Thank you so much for sitting down for the interview. Really appreciated getting to know you and seeing your amazing business.
We appreciate the opportunity to talk with you.
And thank you for what you're doing. This is a great service to the community.
Thanks.